The biggest fear that men have when their wife tells them that she's not in love with them anymore is the fear of being alone. Because he, on some level, does not think he's valuable. He thinks that on some level he will not find another woman, he will not find the love of his life. Somehow, intrinsically, he's a failure and he's broken, and he'll never get this thing figured out. And so when he comes home to the empty house and she's moved out and the furniture's gone and there's that echo, and you know that echo I'm talking about. That one where you come home or you're used to having a house full of kids and life, even a bitchy wife is better than nothing, and you hear that echo. And you're reminded of all the failings that's happening. You're reminded of like losing half the time with your kids. You're reminded that your pension is under fire. And you're reminded that you're going to have to pay this woman forever. Even though she gave you nothing, and even though she cheated on you, she's taken everything with her. And even though she's the one who's unhappy, you're the one who has to pay the price. And the biggest fear of this, the whole reason why you stayed in this situation to begin with, the whole reason that you did not stand up for yourself, because you're afraid to be alone. And so you put up with this bullshit. You said, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Just please don't leave me. And she's like, I'll do whatever I want. And I might promise not to leave you. And you're like, hold on a minute. She's like, no, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to take your shit too. I'm not even going to promise that. And you come into this place. And so how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this isolation, this fear, this feeling that you're not enough, this feeling that you can't step into your power, that you cannot move forward in your life? This video, I'm going to show you how to find hope. This video, I'm going to show you how to use this solitude as a weapon. This video, I'm going to show you exactly why this solitude is the best thing that's going to ever happen to you. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. The process of being with a woman for 50 years or a woman that you're dating is pretty much the same. For us, it's just science. Because we know the patterns, we know the solutions. It's not that complicated. You have to make a commitment for yourself. That's what it means to be in Soul Seducer program. That's what it means to work with me directly. So that you can learn to handle your emotions, so you can learn to see right into a woman's soul and seduce her from within, to create this garden that she can actually thrive in. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. You see, solitude is your forge of power. This is the place where you can actually get some thinking done. This is the place where you can actually figure out what's going on. See, when you're in this house full of kids and your wife nagging you and all this stuff going on and the chaos of building a business and the chaos of the dog shitting on the floor and the baby's diapers and all this other stuff, you don't have time for yourself. In fact, you are taught not to have time for yourself. You're taught to, every moment of every waking minute, always be doing something, always be serving. Your wife needs something, your kids need something. There's just always this endless to-do list, these demands of everything in your life. And then on top of this, you're trying to run a business, and the business demands all of your time anyway. And so then you're in collision with your wife. You're like, I have to work on this business. You're never present. You're like, well, I gotta work on the business because you want to go on these vacations and you want this house. And you get caught up in these two places, and you cannot win. And so this place of solitude is actually a blessing. And most men squander this blessing because they don't want to sit in the pain of their solitude. They don't want to sit in the pain and actually look at how they got here. They'd rather go and sedate. Fuck it, I'm just going to drink myself stupid tonight for the 5th night in a row. And in the morning when I feel hungover, it doesn't matter, just have another drink and that'll go away. And then they go down the slippery slope of alcohol addiction, or they start smoking weed every night because their thoughts won't shut up. Like, well, it helps me sleep. It's like, no, it helps you sedate and it helps you hide. It's the same reason you got into this situation to begin with. You've been sedating and hiding your entire marriage. And you weren't looking at yourself. You're looking at yourself. You see how emasculated, out of power you were this whole time. You let her manipulate you, guilt you, belittle you, emasculate you in front of your own children, call you names, scream at you in public. At some point, she becomes an embarrassment. You can't even show her off to your friends because you don't know what kind of snide remark you get. You don't want to show her off in front of your potential clients. You run a business, you can't have her showing up at your office. You don't know what kind of side of her you're going to get. Maybe you've got to work in your books. And I've seen that happen many times. The guy's like, well, my wife needs to do something. She's just sitting at home doing nothing, so I'm going to have her do the books of the business. That'll be good. Then he finds out that nobody else can do it, and she's causing fucking rifts and everything. She can't get along with the employees. She's got an attitude problem. Everything's about her. Takes no accountability. Is not responsible at all. And it's because you, as the leader of the family, have abdicated the throne, and you're allowing this woman to just fuck all over everything. And so now she's decided to do that with the rest of your life, and now you're left in this solitude. And you sit here in this place of emptiness. You sit there in your grief, in your despair. You're like, Ed, how do I just get past the grief and despair? I feel like I want to end it all. I know. I was there too. I understand what that's like. I was sitting there contemplating the same fucking thing you are. It's easier just to drive the car off of a fucking bridge. Yeah, but then we all know you'd be doing everybody a disservice, including yourself mostly, your kids as well. That's probably the stupidest answer, and it's also the weakest one. Because even if you did that, you don't solve the fucking problem. You just ran away like you did with everything else. So use this solitude as a way to sit and open up a place for yourself. You need to get reconnected with who you are intrinsically as a man. Just as a person, just as a spiritual being having a human experience here on this planet Earth. Without you doing this, nothing's going to change. You have to start looking at yourself and the facts of today and get really fucking clear, tell the truth about how you got here. Until you do this, you're not going anywhere. You see, every great man who has any personal power has learned to master solitude. He has to come to this place where he can say, I don't need you in my life to be good. I am self-generating. I am self-validating. I can create what I want from within. I can connect with myself and calm myself down and have emotional resiliency and go after what I want, go after what I decide I want to go after. But if I sit here in this place of victimhood and just blame everything else, blame the government, blame the courts, blame my wife, blame everything else but myself, you sit in this victim place that you cannot change anything. Once you take ownership of these things, you say, I'm going to go in, figure out what's going on within me, and take ownership and make a commitment. Make a fucking choice to make a change. Decide, I am not going to be this guy anymore. I'm going to transform. I will fucking die without this transformation. I must transform. And this is where we find guys joining the Soul Seducer program. And you're probably watching this video wondering like, well, how do I change this around? How do I make it do it? And you're contemplating, should I join the program or not? And I guarantee you're not ready. You'll only be ready when you get backed into a fucking corner and you have no other way out. Because this is how men are. I've seen it over and over and over again. Men will not make a move until you're backed into the corner and there's no other avenue out for them. They're always like this, no, bro, I got this. It's not as bad as you think it is. And I got some time to figure it out. And it's like, no, you don't. Those are two main delusions every man seems to have. I've got time and it's not that bad. And brother, you ain't got neither. If you're in this position, you're fucked. I know you are. That's why you're in the solitude. And so you get this place where you're back to the corner and you're not willing to look at yourself. So, okay, God's going to keep smacking you in the head over and over and over again until you finally get the point. And you finally get the point, and then you make the pivot. The solitude is there to serve you. The solitude is your timeout because you've been hiding. You've been hiding from yourself for a long time. So guess what? You get to spend a lot of time with yourself. And hopefully you use this time wisely. And when you learn to master the solitude, not only can you master yourself, you learn to create a relationship with yourself. You see, most men don't want to have a relationship with themselves. They want to have a relationship with everybody else and everything else in the world, but they don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to look within. When you cannot find God unless you are willing to look within. God, you see God through you. It's not an external thing that comes to you. It may seem like it is, but if you dig deep down and you actually explore where this notion of revelation of God and where you're at in prayer comes from, you'll find that it only comes through you. And so when you don't have a relationship with yourself, you cannot have a relationship with God, and you wonder why you feel so isolated and alone all the time. It's because you can't do it, because you're hiding. You're hiding and you're lying about the problems that are really going on within you, about how you are the cause of all the things that are happening in your life. And yes, you are. Everything that you're dealing with now came from a decision that you made. To think any otherwise is to not take responsibility. Sure, you could have been victimized. Sure, somebody could have done some shit to you and made you a victim. But deciding to be a victim and being victimized are two different things. You can be victimized and still move forward into power. Bad shit can happen to you and you can still make a choice for responsibility. Or you can cower and hide and hope somebody will come save you. Then you'll realize in the end you've always been alone. Even when they did come and save you, it didn't really save you at all. It just gave you a little bit of temporary relief. But you still didn't face the thing you know you needed to face. When you would rather be alone than to have to deal with bullshit, when you would rather be alone than to not be in your power, now you can actually wake up as a man. If you cannot master your solitude, if you need somebody in your life to make you feel better about yourself, if you need to have a woman in your life to enjoy your vacation or anything else in the world, you're still a slave to it. And I see guys do this all the time. They'll post in the comments below this video, what's the point of living life if I don't have a woman by my side? It's like, dude, really, that's the entire view of your world is having a woman by your side. You have nothing outside of that? You can't be alone. You can't just enjoy nature. You can't enjoy being by the ocean or on a boat and just taking it all in. You can't be good with yourself and your own thoughts and be your own best friend. This is a problem because this means now you're pulling on the woman. You're pulling her for approval and love and satisfaction. And what's she getting out of it? Because you're devoid of it inside of you. How are you going to love her if you can't love yourself? You can't. You can't truly love her because you're constantly pulling on her. And you're like, well, if I get enough love for her, then I'll be able to return it and give more back to her. Or if I just keep giving her love, then she'll give it back to me. It's like, no, you're not. You're playing a game of counting points. It's a contractual. If I give her validation, she'll give me validation. There's no love there. And it's because it's not self-generating. Because you cannot be alone with yourself. And the thing is, when you do this, women can smell this shit on you. They can smell that need for validation. They can smell the fact that you're weak within. And you'll come into two situations. You'll find a woman who's just as needy as you are, and now you've got a transactional, codependent relationship about neediness. You'll find that she's very insecure when you're around other women, and you'll be the same thing when she's around other men. And you'll come together like this, and you'll just be a hermit in your home. You won't go out there and have other things going on outside your life. It'll all just be you and her all together, and you'll smother each other with this. And then you'll wonder why the relationship is just gray and uninteresting anymore. There's no spice to it because you don't have anything going on outside of it. Or you'll run into a woman who is highly manipulative, and she'll leverage the fact that you need her. And then she'll extract everything from you. When she doesn't get what she wants, she'll guilt you, she'll manipulate you, she'll shame you, she'll rage at you, she'll threaten you. She may call the cops on you. She'll turn your kids against you. She'll emasculate you in front of others. And it's all because you're willing to put up with all this bullshit versus just being alone. If you're willing to just say, fuck it, I'd rather be alone than to deal with this ever again in my life. That's where your power is. That's where I had to come back to. Back in 2015, when I found out this shit was going on with me, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I can be what everybody else wants in this world and still lose in the end. I would rather just be by myself, but at least then I can be true to myself. I would rather be true to myself than deal with another fucking day of this bullshit. That's what was required for me to move forward. It's what's required for all men to move forward in their power. They have to be willing to, hey, I'll rather go this alone for the rest of my life than to deal with this shit. Now personal power starts to come in. Now boundary starts to come in. Now consequence for action starts to come up. But you're not going to find that unless you're willing to be alone. And in this solitude, you come to the conclusion, hey, there's a couple of things that I want. The first thing is, I want her to regret ever leaving me. Yeah, I want her to come begging and crawling back. That's what the fuck I want. That's what I want. I want her to regret ever walking out on me by becoming so fucking awesome that she will just feel jealous as hell. I want her to just envy the fact that she left me. Every guy comes to this place. You're like, I'm a Christian man, Ed. I don't do that. Shut up. I know you're still feeling it. I know it's still in there. And then for a certain number of you, you just want her to do that so you can feel that she actually wants to be with you again. So you know that she actually loves you. I want her to regret it so that I can truly see that she's being honest with the fact that she loves me. And then for the other percentage of you, you want her to come back so you can do one thing, to tell her to fuck off. Admit it. I know that's what you're feeling. And both of these camps probably want both. I know I did. I wanted both of these things. Yeah, they're not compatible, but I wanted both of these things. But you're not going to find that unless you're being in a place of isolation. And then from this place, you're going to go build. You're going to go do some shit. You're going to work on yourself. You're going to realize that your identity and your life and who you are is more than just what your wife wants you to be, more than what your kids want you to be. And you start reconnecting with who you are inside. And then from this place, you can start casting a vision of what you want in your life. What can I create? What kind of life do I want to have? And then this notion of a compelling vision starts to come about. Oh, you know, I got freedom to do some cool shit now. I've got a lot more agency than I thought. You know what? There is more to life than just having this woman love me. There is more to life than just being a dad. There is more to life than just this business and profits. And then, for a certain percentage of you savages, you're like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into my greatest comeback. I'm going to have it all. I am going to fucking crush this game of life. I'm going to burn the wheels off this bitch. I'm going to have an awesome woman. I'm going to get a way better one than I had before. I'm going to fucking crush it in business. I'm going to be an amazing father. I'm going to go travel. I'm going to be connected to God spiritually. I'm going to go get jacked. And my life is going to be absolutely on fire. Those motherfuckers are the guys that I like to work with. I can work with all the guys, but those are the guys that I prefer to work with because they move. When I say move, they fucking go, and then they have results, and they have them fast. The other guys, I have to convince them to win. I don't like convincing men to win. I like helping winners fucking crush it. And this is the kind of guy I am. I'm cut of that cloth. Like as you can see from here, when I was cheated on, what did I do? I made a fucking business out of it. I made a business out of my pain. Why? I was like, this is unnecessary. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself where I'm beating myself up? Can't have what I want. I said, fuck it. I'm making a commitment right now. I will find the love of my life. I'm making a commitment right now, I will be a business owner. I'm making a commitment right now, I will be a millionaire. I'm making a commitment right now that I will be all the things I endeavor to do. I will be jacked in my body. I will be completely connected with God. I'll be an amazing father. I'm going to go burn the wheels off this bitch. I made that commitment to myself in solitude. Now when that guy gets born, it's kind of hard for a woman to push him off of his course. It's kind of hard for somebody to kind of, manipulate him. Because when they do, I'm like, you don't have a place in this area that I'm going. You're either here to support me or you're in the way. And I can only have a woman in my life that really supports my vision. I have that. I have my wife. She's amazing. And so the final lesson you learn is that a man who can stand alone can control everything. A man who can stand alone doesn't need to pull from the world. He is self-generating. And this is what we teach you to do in Soul Seducer. You'll hear me talk about it in every one of these videos because it's that important. So the whole reason this YouTube channel exists is to help you stand into power. To take you from this place of being weak, to transform you into somebody powerful, to make that identity shift. It's not a bunch of tactics, although we use tactics to get you moving forward. It's a matter of changing your perspectives and mindsets, and it's a very destructive process because there's a lot of shit we have to rip apart. There's a lot of your thinking and limiting beliefs and just false narratives running through your head that are just completely keeping you low. We have to get in there and root it all out like a fucking surgeon with minimal excess damage. We don't want to break you, but we definitely want to forge you and cut all that bullshit out and get you moving forward and get you stepping into your fire so that you move. My job is to help you pivot. Being a transformational coach means to fucking transform. And so I will do whatever is required to make sure that you transform. When you come into my world, I will even sacrifice my relationship with you just as long as you pivot. I don't care about your money. I don't care about your status. I don't care how many women you've slept with. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. The only thing that matters to me is watching you do what you say you're going to do. So I will do whatever is required to make sure that you fucking do that. That's what it means to be in Soul Seducer program. That's what it means to work with me directly. It means that when you come into my world, we are going to move. We're going to make some shit happen, or you are not in my world. This is why you come to Soul Seducer, so that you have somebody to help you pivot, so that you can make the hard choices that you were unwilling to make before, so that you can leverage power from somebody who has more power than you are, so that you can learn to not be weak, so that you can learn to handle your emotions, so that you can learn to self-generate, so you can learn to deal with your trauma, so you can learn to be compassionate, so you can learn to see right into a woman's soul and seduce her from within, to create this garden that she can actually thrive in. And you will find that when you become this guy, you'll realize that soulmates are created. They're not found. You don't find anything. It's not fucking magical, happy, win the lottery bullshit. No, you create that shit. And you have all the agency and power to do it. And I'll show you exactly how to fucking do it. That requires you making a commitment. I cannot save you. You have to make the first move. You have to be the one to click on the link in the description to join Soul Seducer. And then in that place, I will rock for you. I will not let you fail. Don't let yourself fail. So let's fucking move, brother. Click that link right now.